Shalom. Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Microc, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest, Tazaiwan from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. Now, I have an interesting article that a brother shared not too long ago, and I got a chance to kind of just sit back and just read through it. And it says a long bet. Now this is the site, a long bet, the arena for accountable predictions. So this site is pretty much a site where people can make predictions years or decades before they happen. And when you dig deep, I did a little digging on it, and this was started in 2003, and it stemmed from another website which the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos funded. So it, this does go back to Jeff Bezos. Back in the 90s and mid 90s, early 2000s. So here with this bet, this prediction bet, it's like a prediction site, and I guess you can put a certain amount of money down. But this particular one here is dealing with the implant, the Microc hip implant, which we here at GMS, we know to be the MOTB, or the mark, which is prophesied in Revelation 13, 16, and 17. So the bet that they predicted here is by 2025, by 2025, at least 50% of all U.S. citizens residing within the United States will have some form of technology embedded in their bodies for the purpose of tracking and identification. And this was predicted by a Douglas C. Hughes. So, years ago, 20 plus years ago, it was predicted that different biometric technologies will be inside the human body. Now, he wasn't too far off. They do have the technology, and I mentioned this before. I've done a video on it before. The implant, the Microc chip implant, has been around since the 90s, right? Since at least 1998. There was a man by the name of let's see if I remember his name. I actually spoke on it a few days ago amongst the camp. But if you look up 1998 microchip implant, different news articles will pop up. If his name comes back to me, I'll say it in the lesson. So the technology has been around. So now this guy predicted that within the next 20 years, people would actually have it. Now, what they do have today is they do have wearables. People are wearing technology on their bodies for, not necessarily for tracking and identification on a governmental scale, but that's actually now just getting developed. With the digital identity and everything. So it is 2025, but it's not for 50% of the population, but he's not too far off, right? So this is his argument here. Technology is a wonderful thing, so is freedom. In many circumstances, there are mutually exclusive concepts. Let me zoom in. Ironically, many advances have been made in the name of freedom. Cryptography, wireless networking, miniaturization of ICs, biotechnologies, perpetuating energy sources, global positioning systems, information storage and retrieval systems, all developed to some extent in an effort to afford us greater freedoms through the application of technology. These same technologies, however, will one day erode their very freedom. Despite our outward social and technological advancements, even evolutions, we are still driven by the eon-old concepts of survival and protection. This is, as it has always been and always will be, human nature. Combine these driving forces with technology and the revenue-driven industrial complex, mixed with a healthy dose of fear, both real and manufactured, and a bleaker reality emerges. And that's just the way the world is. You know, a lot of people knew back then. See, now we have smartphones and we can have a personal social media page and TikToks and put this information out or what we believe in as individually. So you see a lot more people today with the same mindset. But even back then in the past, you can get online when the internet was a little bit more freer, speech and all of that. You can get online in a blog and you can speak your piece on what was going on. And these websites, they have these predictability websites of what will happen in the future. And pretty much this guy here is on point. It says it began with systems such as LoJack, a vehicle recovery system. I remember that. As technology improved, smaller tracking devices began to be implanted in pets. Right? Even now, they're making pet implants mandatory. Okay, I've done videos on that. In the year 2000, Applied Digital Solutions, Inc. formed a partnership with Princeton University and the New Jersey Institute of Technology to design a miniature implantable digital transceiver that can send and receive data, monitor body function, store information, and utilize GPS tracking. Within a decade or so, a device small enough and efficient enough to be permanently implanted in the human body that provides this functionality will be on the market. And it was. Look up the company Dangerous Things. Matter of fact, let me look it up. Right? Because he's talked about the year 2000, and within a decade, that technology will be available for the market. And it was. Right, here we go. Dangerous Things. Go keyless with the C-hip implant. Best RFID and NFC implants. Right? Now let's just check and see. And you can see the right hand. This is the guy here, Amal Grafstra. Pretty sure you've seen this guy before in different clips, news reports. This guy is given an implant. And he's been around. Okay, well, here we go here. I'll just get to the point here. This guy says, so this is him, right? Speaking his piece. I've had C-hips implanted in my hand since 2005, and I can tell you that still today, every time I use my implant to get into my front door, start my car, or do some other fantastical feat, I can't help but feel like I've just performed a magic trick. Let me see. You have the fact, the frequently asked questions. Making payments. Yeah, and see, we've been telling you this. So this guy has been around since at least 2005 with this technology. Based in Seattle, shipped globally. Okay. as a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram, and YouTube. So I might look. I haven't done a video on this guy in years, for a while. So I might check back in to see what kind of updates this dangerous thing is. And this is obviously telling you that this is the MOTB. It's a dangerous implant. Going back to the scriptures. But let me go back here to this article that I had up. Let's see, which one is it? There we go. So it's been around, right? It says within a decade or so, a device small enough and efficient enough to be permanently implanted in the human body that provides this functionality will be on the market. The technology exists. All that remains is to overcome logic, social responsibility, ethics, and common sense. And that's when they're going to have the right crisis to get people to take it. So people have already been predicting that this technology will come on the scene. Okay? Fear. Fear is a highly motivating emotion. Societies will perform virtually unthinkable acts out of fear. And we know who's behind those types of acts, right? The GOV around the world. It will begin with people electing to have others implanted. Parents afraid for the safety of their children will have them implanted with these devices in case of abduction or more evil motives during those teen years. Right, think of that Black Mirror episode. I forget, but pretty much the little girl had to have an implant, and her mother had a tablet where she could pretty much watch what the girl was doing through her teen years, I believe. So they've been showing you not just, you can read about these things and you can predict them and what's going to happen, but they've been showing you in these television shows and movies as well. It says the elderly will find themselves implanted in case of accidents, cardiac arrest, or Alzheimer's disease. The Neuralink technology has now been, it's been around. Well, within the last year, you've had 3 patients already get that brain implant. So this is a real prediction here.
90.
So now let me get this here. It says technology will have to evolve to a device that cannot be tampered with or removed. Congress, through the use of an effective fear campaign, will have to enact legislation. That's what we're seeing now with this guy Trump. And this is a pretty good article, man. A pretty good prediction. That's why he has this guy Elon Musk, right? They are signing all these orders, executive orders. He's backing digital currency and Bitcoin, and so legislation will be a way to get the MOTB implant, which is Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all. The military would then be early adopters under the pretense of body identification and locating MIA POWs and troop tracking, performance monitoring as a whole new twist to SNMP. It pretty much gives you all the reasons for them to introduce this MOTB. The commonality throughout these stages, the driving force is fear. From here, it is simply a chronological issue. How long will it take for 50% of the population of the United States to receive these implants. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for this prophecy to come to pass based off the scriptures. Technology is a wonderful thing, so is freedom. Detailed terms. Pretty much saying the same thing here. So it says, since my prediction indicates that a number of persons with such embedded technologies will have this voluntarily, the technology itself does not necessarily have to be impervious to attempts to disable it. While I believe the majority of the technologies used will in fact be tamper resistant, the voluntary implantations do not need to be. But they're going to give everyone this, maybe certain people like celebrities and the rich would get different perks. But I believe that everyone's going to get the same type of device. And then of course, see, he doesn't understand the scriptures and the Bible with prophecy and revelation. But once you get it, that's it. You're going to get your judgment. Ain't no taking it out. And then thinking you're going to be saved and delivered. No. Once you get it, you're going to be destroyed. Because it's going to give you that grievous sore. All right? That grievous sore that's also found in Revelation is going to be on those that take the mark. So you got certain comments here from 22 years ago. 2 years ago, Harjit Lee, you guys don't take the MOTB. Read Revelation for your own understanding. It has eternal consequences. They want to micro-C-hip humans. Don't take no matter what you have been warned. So this guy can see it. I don't know if he's a Jake or, Christian or whatever. But a lot of people can see it. A lot of people can't see it. Right? IUIC need to wake up. ISUPK need to wake up. Non-citizens, 16 years ago, Fast Eddie, non-citizens, illegal aliens already do regularly get injectable RFID tags for quick spotting at border checkpoints. These are administered upon deportation. Now, dealing with this situation, I'm not sure about how true this is from 16 years ago, but at the U.S. border, they do have biometrics. Okay? It may have been a rumor back then, but now they do have biometrics at the border. So this could be, and I think, we're looking at this whole deportation thing now in 2025 with Trump. That's another reason to introduce the MOTB. Or you want to be in the U.S. country, you're going to have to work, you're going to have to be a citizen. Just take this tag, right? Take this implant and you'll be able to come into the country. I see it. I could clearly see that be a reason to deport these Hispanics, these tribes, Northern Kingdom, and then for them to come back into this country, that we have to get the MOTB. Not enough time, 18 years ago. I do agree with people having tracking devices put in them, but I do not think that 20 years is enough time to finish this project or even to begin. This project will take time, but I'm sure it will happen. Well, it will take time. It has taken time, but we're at the point now that, and we're in 2025. We already have the technology to start. The question is, why would a regular, non-important kid or adult need one? It would be a waste of time. Well, this person didn't read the article. He told you all they need is a fearful situation, something like maybe 9/11, and then, okay, we got to identify everyone in the country, then you got to take it. 18 years ago, it starts with S offenders. Let's see here. Fears after, okay, look. Fears after 9/11 really fueled this. Somewhere a government official will be working out his under-the-table kickback deal for the new legislation for a national S-offender CHIP Act. So, I'm reading through these, and it's pretty much these people can see it, but they don't understand the prophecies, and it's going to happen. Okay, now remember this. 21 years ago, the voluntary stages have begun in Mexico. I picked this up off the AP, Associated Press. CHIP implanted in Mexico judicial workers. So he put the whole article in here. But I'll just get the main point. Out of Mexico City, security has reached the subcutaneous level for Mexico's Attorney General and at least 160 people in his office. They have been implanted with micro CHIPs that get them access to secure areas of their headquarters. So, and I remember reading about this and speaking on it years ago. I don't know any updates to it. Okay, here's a link. Let's see if this link is still around. Okay, yeah, page not found. Well, it's been over 20 years. Now, I'll tell you another reason why they could introduce MOTB soon. This is from Zero Hedge. Trump instructs secretary to stop minting pennies, citing wasteful spending. So Trump wants to do away with coins, with pennies now. Monday, February 10th, 2025. President Donald Trump directed Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Sunday night to halt the minting of new pennies, citing wasteful spending as coin production costs soar. For far too long, the U.S. has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful. I have instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to start producing new pennies. Let's rip the waste out of our great nation's budget, even if it's a penny at a time, Trump wrote on Truth Social. And this is one of his social media accounts from DJ Trump. So, they get away with pennies, they can get away with nickels, dimes, quarters, and then, of course, they can do away with paper cash. So that's another reason to introduce a digital currency and eventually the MOTB implant. So this was a pretty good article. A brother has shared it, and you can read the comments and everything, and a lot of people can see it, but they say, it'll take too much time, maybe, well, a lot of things are happening now. What it said by 2025, and that's where we're at now, 2025. So, at the end of the day, the technology exists, and pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter, they're gonna introduce it. Okay, it will happen. It will be mandated soon, and that's when all these people are going to start to question. You Christians are going to start questioning what you believe in. If you're really connected to the scriptures, Christians will start going to recognize, well, maybe I should be an Israelite, and you Israelites are going to have to recognize that GMS was always right. So this is Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a MARK, in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And that technology exists. It existed over 20 years ago. I just showed you that. I showed you the Dangerous Things website. The owner said he's had it in his hands since 2005. And then dealing with the foreheads, you have now 2025 Neuralink, the Neuralink company, started by Elon Musk, owned by Elon Musk, who's in the White House right now, next to President Donald Trump. They're putting the brain implant in your head, forehead. So, we're here now. We're at this point where this prophecy is about to be fulfilled, all right, fully fulfilled and being mandated, right, where everyone will be called to take it. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So it's about to come to pass soon, right, as far as being made mandatory. And when that takes place, when this takes place, things are going to move quick with the wars overseas, then eventually the destruction, and that means the deliverance of the elect of the Hebrew Israelites. So, continue to endure and have faith and watch and pray that Yahweh Shai is on our side, that he's on your side, and that we're out of here soon. With that, I'll say Shalom.